Hello and good day. Welcome to our video channel, God's Promises. And today's video will be Genesis 26. Let's get started now. Verse 1. Now there was a famine in the land, besides the former famine that was in the days of Abraham. And Isaac went to Gerar to Abimelech king of the Philistines. This verse sets the scene for the chapter. There is a famine in the land, and Isaac, the son of Abraham, goes to seek refuge in Gerar, which is ruled by King Abimelech of the Philistines. Verse 2. And the Lord appeared to him and said, Do not go down to Egypt, dwell in the land of which I shall tell you. God appears to Isaac and instructs him not to go to Egypt but to stay in the land that God will reveal to him. Verse 3. Sojourn in this land, and I will be with you and will bless you, for to you and to your offspring I will give all these lands, and I will establish the oath that I swore to Abraham your father. God promises to bless Isaac and his offspring and give them all the lands of the region. This is a reaffirmation of the promise that God made to Abraham, Isaac's father. Verse 4. I will multiply your offspring as the stars of heaven and will give to your offspring all these lands. And in your offspring all the nations of the earth shall be blessed. God reiterates his promise to make Isaac's descendants numerous and to bless all the nations of the earth through them. Verse 5. Because Abraham obeyed my voice and kept my charge, my commandments, my statutes, and my laws. God reminds Isaac that his blessings are a result of Abraham's obedience to God's commands. Verse 6. So Isaac settled in Gerar. Isaac obeys God's instructions and settles in Gerar. Verse 7. When the men of the place asked him about his wife, he said, She is my sister. For he feared to say, My wife, thinking, lest the men of the place should kill me because of Rebekah, because she was attractive in appearance. Isaac tells the people of Gerar that his wife Rebekah is his sister, out of fear that they will kill him because of her beauty. Verse 8. When he had been there a long time, Abimelech king of the Philistines looked out of a window, and saw Isaac laughing with Rebekah his wife. Abimelech, the king of Gerar, observes Isaac and Rebekah interacting in a way that suggests they are married, not siblings. Verse 9. So Abimelech called Isaac and said, Behold, she is your wife. How then could you say, She is my sister? Isaac said to him, Because I thought, lest I die because of her. Abimelech confronts Isaac about his deception, and Isaac explains that he feared for his life. Verse 10. Abimelech said, What is this you have done to us? One of the people might easily have lain with your wife, and you would have brought guilt upon us. Abimelech expresses concern that Isaac's deception could have resulted in someone sleeping with Rebekah and bringing guilt upon the people of Gerar. Verse 11. So Abimelech warned all the people, saying, Whoever touches this man or his wife shall surely be put to death. To prevent any harm from coming to Isaac and Rebekah, Abimelech issues a warning that anyone who touches them will be put to death. Despite the famine, Isaac sowed crops in the land and received an abundant harvest in the same year, thanks to the blessing of the Lord. Verse 13. And the man became rich, and gained more and more until he became very wealthy. Isaac's harvest made him very wealthy, and his wealth continued to increase. Verse 14. He had possessions of flocks and herds and many servants, so that the Philistines envied him. Isaac's wealth was demonstrated in his many flocks, herds, and servants, which caused envy among the Philistines. Verse 15. Now the Philistines had stopped and filled with earth all the wells that his father's servants had dug in the days of Abraham his father. The Philistines had filled the wells that belonged to Abraham, Isaac's father, and had prevented anyone from accessing them. Verse 16. And Abimelech said to Isaac, Go away from us, for you are much mightier than we. Abimelech recognizes Isaac's power and wealth and tells him to leave Gerar. Verse 17. So Isaac departed from there and encamped in the valley of Gerar and settled there. Isaac leaves Gerar and settles in the valley of Gerar. Verse 18. And Isaac dug again the wells of water that had been dug in the days of Abraham his father, which the Philistines had stopped after the death of Abraham. And he gave them the names that his father had given them. Isaac rediscovers the wells that had been filled in by the Philistines, and renames them according to their original names given by Abraham, his father. Verse 19. But when Isaac's servants dug in the valley and found there a well of spring water, Isaac's servants dig a new well in the valley and find a source of fresh water. Verse 20. The herdsmen of Gerar quarreled with Isaac's herdsmen, saying, "The water is ours." So he called the name of the well Ezek, because they contended with him. The herdsmen of Gerar claimed the new well, causing a conflict with Isaac's herdsmen. Isaac names the well Ezek, which means contention. Verse 21. Then they dug another well, and they quarreled over that also, so he called its name Sidnah. Isaac's servants dig another well, but there is another dispute with the herdsmen of Gerar, so Isaac names it Sidnah, which means enmity. Verse 22. And he moved from there and dug another well, and they did not quarrel over it. So he called its name Rehoboth, saying, "For now the Lord has made room for us, and we shall be fruitful in the land." Isaac moves to a new location and digs another well, which is not contested. He names it Rehoboth, which means broad places, because he believes that God has provided a new space for them to thrive. Verse 23. From there he went up to Beersheba. Isaac travels to Beersheba, which is a significant location in the history of Israel. Verse 24. And the Lord appeared to him the same night and said, "I am the God of Abraham your father. Fear not, for I am with you and will bless you and multiply your offspring for my servant Abraham's sake." Verse 25. So he built an altar there and called upon the name of the Lord and pitched his tent there. And there Isaac's servants dug a well. Isaac builds an altar and calls on the name of the Lord at the place where God appeared to him. His servants also dig a well in the area. Verse 26. Meanwhile, Abimelech had come to him from Gerar with Ahuzzath his advisor and Phicol the commander of his army. Abimelech, along with his advisor and commander of his army, visit Isaac in Beersheba. Verse 27. Isaac said to them, "Why have you come to me, seeing that you hate me and have sent me away from you?" Isaac questions why Abimelech has come to see him, since he was previously forced to leave Gerar. Verse 28. They said, "We see plainly that the Lord has been with you." So we said, "Let there be a sworn pact between us, between you and us, and let us make a covenant with you." Abimelech and his advisors acknowledge that God is with Isaac, and they propose a covenant between them. Verse 29. That you will do us no harm, just as we have not touched you and have done to you nothing but good and have sent you away in peace. You are now the blessed of the Lord. Abimelech promises that they will not harm Isaac, and he recognizes that Isaac is blessed by God. Verse 30. So he made them a feast, and they ate and drank. Isaac prepares a feast for Abimelech and his advisors, and they eat and drink together. Verse 31. In the morning they rose early and exchanged oaths. And Isaac sent them on their way, and they departed from him in peace. The next morning, Abimelech and his advisors swear an oath with Isaac. Afterward Isaac sends them on their way in peace. Verse 32. That same day Isaac's servants came and told him about the well that they had dug and said to him, "We have found water." Isaac's servants report that they have found water in the well they dug. Verse 33. He called it Sheba, therefore the name of the city is Beersheba to this day. Isaac names the well Sheba, and the city is still called Beersheba to this day. Verse 34. When Esau was 40 years old, he took Judith the daughter of Beri the Hittite to be his wife, and Basemath the daughter of Elon the Hittite. The chapter ends with a brief mention of Esau, who takes 2 Hittite women as his wives when he is 40 years old. Overall, Genesis 26 illustrates God's faithfulness and provision to Isaac, even during a time of famine. Despite opposition and conflict, Isaac continues to trust God, and his faith is rewarded. The chapter also highlights the significance of wells and water in the ancient Near East, as well as the importance of making covenants and honoring promises. Thank you for watching. Please share with us your favorite Bible verse below in the comments section. Don't forget to like and subscribe, it really does help our channel grow. Looking forward to see you back here for our next video. Always take good care.